Welcome everyone to the most powerful masterclass for building, protecting, and restoring your immune system. How to become number one at the art of number two. This is a 7-day event that will change your life for the rest of your life. This masterclass will run from Tuesday, September the 29th until Sunday, October the 4th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with a live Q&A with me on Wednesday, October 7th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, and docofdetoxshow.com. If you do not have a chance to watch this life-saving, life-changing masterclass, you will be able to join it for free for a limited time. Please go to the docofdetox.com. So go to docofdetox.com, then click at the top on Library, and then click on the A to Z Wellness Master Classes Guide. Once you click on there, you will have a choice of 2 master classes: Healing Your Muscles, Joints and Organs, Wolf Non-Surgical Bodywork Masterclass, or How to Become Number One at the Art of Number Two. Uncover and discover the practitioner from within and become the healer you seek. Enjoy my gift to you and pay it forward. God bless. Welcome to part 3, everyone. The law of repetition. Just know this: what you focus on matters. You matter. Make sure you're conscious of your choices and enjoy the show. They have got you because repetition is the key to programming. And if you don't understand that you need to be the master at anything, you need to learn how to repeat things. Well, yeah, if you want to be a great pianist, you have to repeat things. If you want to be an Olympian, you have to repeat things. And just like I had to repeat things and read things over and over again, and the more that I did my shows, the better I became at them. I hope so anyways. The more that I practiced doing Wolf Non-Surgical, the more I could pull fibroids apart and adhesions apart, and to the point that we actually will offer a money-back guarantee that the first treatment you get will do more than all the other treatments combined. I don't care what they are. So the reality is, if you want to practice something continually and put your heart into it, put your passion into it, you can master your life. And if you don't, guess what? The same commercial can run 5 times in 1 hour, and you'll find yourself going to the drugstore and getting a drug that can get rid of 1 symptom and actually cause 20, and it'd be life-threatening. But because we know that programming works, you'll actually just get up like a robot, go to the drugstore, or go to the doctor, get a prescription for this drug, or get an over-the-counter drug, because all drugs are toxic. All drugs cause bowel problems, and bowel problems are the main cause of all other problems. And that I'm going to stick to. And that's the reality. Because understand something. If you don't train your brain, others will do it for you. And that's what's going on. So if you're a big avid TV watcher, I know that you've been brainwashed. Now, you want to wash your own brain clean of dysfunctional beliefs. And understand something. Think about this, okay? I want you to really think about this. When we know that 62%, on average, 62% of the American population we know that the American population on average eats 62% of all the prescriptions made in the world. Did you get that? Oh, isn't that something? So understand something, and you may not get this either, but the United States is the strongest nation in the world. They are now one of the sickest nations in the world, and you got to understand that this has all been planned and plotted, and the reality is it's to break United States, because if you could actually break United States as a country, then you could break every other country in the world, and then you could create a one world order. And I'm not going to get into it, but if you think I'm kidding, just take away the health of a nation, and then that nation, if they're unable to think or drink or eat or do good things for themselves, then they will be mastered by other masters. All right, let's move on, okay? So now, are you getting this? Your conscious mind is 10%, okay, of your brain. The subconscious is 10,000 times more powerful than the conscious mind. So let me tell you something. If you want something down on planet Earth, you are going to repeat that new belief, that new thought, that new image 10,000 times. So what type of body do you want? What type of health do you want? What type of wealth do you want? What is your passion? What is your purpose? And you're saying, what's this got to do with being the art of number 2? Okay, the art of number 2. Well, I'm going to tell you what's got to do with it. Because if you can master your bowel movements, you'll be able to master anything else. Because you're going to understand from me that it is repetition. It's learning how to do the same thing over and over again, that you never have to think about it consciously because your subconscious has accepted it. And now I just poop great every day. But the reality is, we think we poop great every day because everybody else in our family and all our friends don't poop great at all. Think about it. That's all I want you to do. Okay, so let's talk about this. The law of attention. So focus on the protocol, the belief system that's going to get you pooping good. Okay, and what would that be? Well, it matters what you think, drink, and eat, doesn't it? Okay, and then you've got to do the law of repetition, doing it over and over again. And understand something. Use your senses. Use your senses that you've been given. Touch, see, hear, smell, taste. And understand something. Everything in our life is electric impulse. That electric impulse goes to our brain neurons. Remember what I told you? So what I'm talking about is I'm talking about rewiring your brain, retraining your brain. You know when they say that that person has brain damage? Well, just know something. Your brain will actually create new wires to send new impulses, okay? The game is never over, okay? It will rewrite over top of broken programs. So we need to get that. And I'm telling you something, science would not accept that. They would even ostracize any scientist that would say that that could happen. And understand, they banished them for years. But the reality is you can rewrite over brain problems, brain dysfunction. Okay? Don't believe what the experts say. So, law of attention, law of repetition, right? We create electric impulse, which I said earlier, because your emotions create frequencies. So what you're doing, and if you create a new thought, a new pattern, okay, electric impulse goes to brain neurons. You create an imprint. It goes to your sensory memory, okay, touch, see, hear, smell, taste. Then it goes into short-term memory. Then it goes into long-term memory. Okay, and then it becomes what? When it goes into long-term memory, because now it's been accepted by your subconscious, it's a prominent thought. So then it becomes a prominent program, which now becomes a habit. So now pooping great would be a habit. Eating great would be a habit. Loving yourself would be a habit. Loving everyone else would be a habit. But honoring, respecting yourself, okay, and holding the loving line will now be a habit. But you got to practice this stuff. So conscious goes to subconscious, right? So we got our conscious mind. Then we got our subconscious mind, which makes up 90% of our brain. And if you run that program and it becomes prominent enough, guess what? The unconscious part of your brain is your body. Okay, but it's not your brain. Well, what am I talking about? Well, let's put it this way. When I go to the bathroom, okay, I know how to pull my pants down, sit down on the toilet without thinking about it because I've done it so often. So that means that every cell in my body has picked up the program that is most prominent in my subconscious brain. So my whole body can do it, just like tying your shoe, like driving a car, like riding a bike, you know, things like this. Once you've done it long enough, okay, so conscious, that means we got to be conscious, and to practice something 10,000 times, to then make it into the subconscious and make it a prominent thought, and then it gets accepted by the unconscious, which is the whole body. Okay? So there it is right there. So understand something. That major freeway, which is a prominent thought, okay, could be killing you. So now you're going to take just a little pathway that is a beautiful thought, and you're going to have to take that pathway many times to make it into a freeway. And when you do, you will have freedom. You will have total freedom. Okay? So understand this, everyone. Take a look everywhere. Please, just look everywhere right now. Okay, we know that 80% of the population is overweight. We know 60% of the population is obese. Okay, take a look at the children. What sticks out in this picture? Take a look at this picture. All right, I mean, take a look at that little guy on the couch. I mean, he's a couch potato. He's in comatose. All right, she is vegging out on the TV. This is the children of today. Okay, they are blue light poisoned. Okay, which means that television, they are channeled into the television and they are programmed to actually kill themselves now through blue light. And what else are you going to do when you eat? You get depressed. When you watch TV, you get depressed, you get hungry, you eat and eat and eat until you eat yourself to death. So between the blue light and between this is what's going on with our children. Our children are so constipated today. But guess what? Constipation is a normal thing now, isn't it? Because whatever the majority has, that's what's normal, right? So understand, like I said, 80% of the population is overweight. Okay, health is being sold off by the pound, or wait a minute, it's being sold to us by the pound, right? Bad bacteria, okay, are bad bacteria. That's why we call them bad bacteria. And understand something. We are supposed to have 85% good bacteria in the human body and 15% bad. It is the exact opposite. You go ahead, don't believe me, go check out, and I'll tell you something right now. It's like 95% of the population today, okay, to 98%, have more bad bacteria than good bacteria, but 80% of the population or more have 85% bad bacteria and only 15% good. But holy smokes, 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, which means they have a screen door in a submarine, and that submarine is called the Holy Grail. And that Holy Grail is responsible for 85% of the body's immune system. But what if that Holy Grail is falling down and out? Well, take a look at people. Some people it's hanging right down over the belt. Other people, it looks like if you poked a pin into their tummy because they look like a beach ball, they would just, when the gas comes out, they'd fly all over the room. And we don't want that to happen. What a mess. But the reality is we have, in our society, majority rules. So even if somebody is the walking dead, okay, the walking dying, okay, it will be accepted as normal today. That, we are brain dead. We are brain dead. Okay, so let me just say this. It is so important that you get this, all right? How important is your poop? I'll tell you the scoop on poop is 1 gram of stool has 100 billion strong bacteria. Or it's going to have 1 billion weak bacteria. And if they're weak, then those weak bacteria are going to attack you. And understand something, bad bacteria give off bad moods. Yeah. Did I tell you earlier that your bacteria will talk 9 times to your brain when your brain only talks 1 time back? Now, if those bacteria are talking 9 times to your brain and they're mainly bad bacteria, then they're going to be bad frequencies, bad thoughts. Are you with me? So if you don't think that bad bacteria cause bad moods, then you are in a big surprise. And understand something. Those bad bacteria give off endotoxin, and endotoxin is very toxic. And that's what disturbs the whole gut-brain connection. That's what disturbs everything on an inflammatory connection, from colitis to ileitis to diverticulitis to ulcers. I mean, look at. Your intestine has only 1 cell thick on the lining, and we end up burning that out every day. And if you burn that 1 cell thick lining out, you are going to absorb so much toxins, okay, and fungus and bad bacteria and waste products. The reality is everything's set up like this because if it wasn't, you'd be dead already. If you didn't have symptoms, you'd be dead already. If you didn't have a GPS called pain, you would be dead already. And that is the God's truth. So let's get this. Bad moods, okay, equal bad foods. When's the last time you're in a bad mood and you made yourself a salad? When you're in a bad mood, you'll go to the same vibration of foods and eat those foods. So we know that bad moods equal bad foods. But did you know that bad foods equal bad bacteria, which then create a weak or otherwise bad immune system? So now let's get back to our original talk. The invisible creates the visible. The invisible creates the physical. And does anybody notice how much I repeat things? Well, I'm going to repeat things long enough and strong enough that you're going to be a master at this. How's that? So understand something. If you don't want to understand that your large intestine is the Holy Grail, and you don't care, then you will break the gut-brain connection, and you will have gut-brain disconnection. You will not think right. You will have emotional problems like a roller coaster. You'll be up and down like an elevator. How does that feel? Well, that is not heaven. That is hell. That's what's called living in hell. You can have hell on earth, and you're going to have hell on earth if you do not have bowel health, large intestinal health. And if you've got large intestinal health, you have no idea how good it could be. And that's why we want to learn how to have the perfect day every day. So take a look at the first picture on the left. Okay, so what is that? Down and out. Oh, come on. Do you understand that this gentleman's large intestine hasn't fallen down? It's fallen out. His large intestine is now, okay, about 5-6 inches down below his belt. So that means that when the waste comes in, it's got to go down into the valley and then climb back up the valley, but it's got no tone. So guess what he's got? He's got gut rot. He's got brain rot. Did you get that? So gut-brain disconnection means that when you've got gut rot, you've got brain rot. Okay? So understand something. He can't think right. And understand something. He's going to have not just memory problems. He's going to have brain dysfunction. As he gets older, it's going to get worse. And then you can be malnourished and dehydrated, and you're going to have down and in. As you can see in the middle picture, this person, their intestine would fall down and in, and it would shrink up and become like beef jerky. So it become really tight. Whereas with the first picture, it become really loose and just lay there limp. So with the down and out picture, the first one, it's just laying there like a dead snake, limp. And if you look at the last picture, gassed up, ready to blow. Well, that's what that is. That's gas. This guy has angina, okay? He has also, he could have heart problems, right? He has trouble getting his breath. So that's the problems. And understand something. The first picture and the two end pictures, we've got low back problems. And we got low back problems because we've got no tone in the front. And with the middle picture, with the down and in, we've got low back problems because his back is going to be too tight. It's going to be like beef jerky. So understand something. I'm telling you right now that your low back problems are not in your, they're up in front. They're not, they start up in front. They don't start from your back. And understand something. It's your abdomen that gets you off the toilet. It's your abdomen that picks up the groceries, that picks up the children. It's your abdomen that moves you around. When you start falling down and when you can't get up from the couch, it's your abdomen that has no tone. So we have to be awake and we have to become alert. And we have to become alert to this gut-brain connection. And the only way you're going to do it is you're going to have to what? You're going to have to go back and change the image of what your life looks like so that you change your thoughts, so that you change your programs, so that you change your emotions and you make different choices. You make healthy choices. We want to eat things that are fresh and raw and vibrant and alive. I mean, come on. If you eat dead food, what do you become? If you eat live food, what do you become? Live food has fiber in it that is undigestible, that creates the compost. And that compost is your large intestine that creates the good bacteria. And it also is a scrub brush to go in and clean. That's why we need the fiber. And it also has the enzymes. It also has the minerals. It also has structured water in it. That's what fruit and vegetables have. If you want to eat things that are processed, they're dead. They have no vibratory level. They have no energy. We are light energy beings. Fruits, vegetables are the main things that hold light energy, hold high frequency. That's what we want to become. I'm telling you, I would not live with someone who eats only processed foods, crackers, ice cream, potato chips. God love them, but they're going to be up and down like a roller coaster. That's no relationship. You'd have to both be broken to be with each other. And that's the God's truth. Okay, let's take a look at this. Now, I want you to get this. This is really important, and this is the gut-brain connection. Okay? First of all, let's take a look at what we call the pelvis at the very bottom. Otherwise, it's called the soup bowl. Now, why is it called a soup bowl? Well, take a look at the pelvis. It looks like a bowl. And look what's sitting in the bowl. What's sitting in the bowl? I'll tell you what's sitting in the bowl. Your second brain. What else is sitting in the bowl? Okay? This is where 85% of your energy is made and 85% of your energy is stored, but only if it is healthy. If that second brain, being your colon, is not healthy, if the small intestine is not healthy, then it is going to sit limp and dead within the pelvis, but it's going to be leaking toxins. Now, whether you want to believe this or not, this is the truth. That pelvic area, okay, is called the root chakra or the root energy channel, whatever you want to call it, but it is the base station of energy. So what happens is the energy that's created in your abdominal cavity, okay, is stored in what we call the mesentery, which is like a lining around the abdominal cavity. But that energy is then taken and it is put into the coccyx, which is the very bottom tip of your spine, and it goes into the spinal fluid. So it picks up a lot of this energy that's in the pelvic bowl. That energy goes into the spinal fluid of the coccyx and runs up your spine, and it goes to the computer, which is your brain, and it relays messages and tells your brain what your body needs. And all the way up through your spine, you've got nerve endings going to all the organs, all the tissues throughout the whole body. So information goes up, translates to the computer. The computer says, sends this hormone, send this chemical, send this, do this, shut this down. But guess what? What if you've got a gut-brain disconnection in your pelvis? Then guess what? That computer's broken, okay? The programs are dysfunctional. And I'm going to tell you something, whether you want to believe this, to memory problems, to every neurological disease. And guess what? Everything is a neurological disease. I don't think you get this. Every condition in the human body is a neurological disease. But the ones that stick out are things like MS, right? Parkinson's. I could keep going. Lou Gehrig's. So those are the ones that stick out, but everything, even just somebody with a shaky little hand, somebody that has an intestinal problem, liver problem, pancreatic problem, they're all neurological diseases. And if you don't want to look after the soup bowl, which is called the pelvis, which is where energy central is, that collects all the energy, all the information to take it up to the computer, then you're going to have a dysfunctional life. All right. So understand this. We are walking, talking bodies of bacteria. Okay? All right? Bacteria to cells. Do you realize that bacteria to cells, it's 10 to 1? So we've got like 50 trillion cells in our body, but we have 500 trillion good bacteria in our body. So we are walking, talking globs of bacteria. So you go ahead and attack that bacteria. And understand something. Do you know what? If medical health was true health care, they'd be telling you how to protect your bacteria, not to attack it. Okay? And they would be telling you that the inner terrain is everything. Your inner terrain decides what's going to live there, whether it's bad bacteria or a worm or viruses that are dead anyways, or it's going to be fungus because the yeast turned into fungus. But it's all environment. Let me ask you a question. So when you come home and the family's fighting and everybody's depressed or angry, how does that make you feel right away? When you come home and the family is just loving and hugging and saying, how are you? I love you. And you say, I love you back. Now tell me the environment doesn't matter. Now tell me it doesn't matter. So understand something. Issues in the tissues. Where do you bury your emotional toxicity? Okay? Understand something. go take a look at my A to Z Wellness Masterclass. And when you go in there into the manual, I want you to go in there and take a look, because in that manual, I talk about where you bury what emotion and what emotion gets buried in different parts of the body, and see if I'm right. And then also take a look at my masterclass, okay? All right? The emotional chemistry of disease and healing. And then tell me I'm wrong. Because understand something. The image, the thought, the emotion, the frequency, it triggers the brain first. What if it's a negative emotion, a negative thought, negative image, and you keep running it continually like a little mouse on a wheel? What do you think is going to happen if you terrorize yourself? Well, you're terrorizing your brain. You're tearing it apart, and you're inflaming it. Did you know that I'll be showing in this masterclass that, not this one, but in the emotional chemistry of disease and healing, that the brain gets inflamed first before any part of the body. And that we could actually, you could say, oh, I have this disease, and then we could take an x-ray of the brain, and we'd actually find the inflammation in the scar tissue in that part of the brain that actually says, yeah, you're right. Or we could go and take a look at this, take a look at the actual brain and see the scar tissue and the inflammation, and we could tell you where your problem is in the body. So understand something. We damage our brain before we damage the rest of our body, because it is the computer that runs all the hormones and chemicals. Doesn't that sound logical? Now, the medical science does not want to look at this. Okay? Medical science does not believe in the invisible energy. How medical doctors work is they work from death backwards. How natural health works is we work from life forwards. Think about it and ask yourself which one sounds right. Okay, so where do we hide our dirty little secrets? Well, understand something. I would hide mine in my poop if I didn't want somebody to find them. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Have you ever had really bad cramps? Have you ever had really bad, oh, I feel sick to my stomach. You make me sick to my stomach. I can't digest that, you know? Okay, I've got knots in my stomach. Well, understand, I know it's a physical problem, but that physical problem was an emotional one prior to it being that. So the reality is if you don't learn to let go, or you don't have the tools to process negative emotions, then you're going to end up storing them until you do. And what if you never do? Those little negative emotions could become pimples, cysts, boils, tumors, fibroids, joint problems, organ problems. I think you get the message, right? So understand something. Buried emotions, like I said, you make me sick. I can't stomach this. My stomach is in knots. Thought form always creates physical form. It always comes before physical form. You need to get this, okay? So here we go, guys. So understand something. You know, you may not like the way other people poo. Maybe you like your toilet, but understand something. If you don't wake up to this, then you're not going to be treated royal. So take a look at this picture. Royal throne, closed for business. Now, this is absolutely the wrong way to have to take a poop. All right? Take a look at the royal squat. Now, this is the way that people, most of the population around the world, actually go to the bathroom. That's right. When you squat, you open up. You open up your pelvis. Now, I have a bunch of exercises called pelvic activation squats that you can see in the do-it-yourself guide in my library. And I also have what's called pelvic expander. I also have what's called belly button therapy. And you better start doing these things. If you don't want to give up your toilet and don't want to start squatting when you poo or you pee, then understand something. Then you are closing yourself down for business. And I'm going to tell you something. You don't want to close down when it comes to eliminating waste. You got to go with the flow. When we don't go with the flow in life on an emotional and physical level, then guess what? We are going to stagnate. When we stagnate, guess what we do? We putrefy. And when it comes to your abdomen, we call that gut rot. And when that's the everything of disease. And that's where it gets its foothold. I will sit down with anybody, any specialist that wants to tell you a different theory, and I promise, give me 20 of them. We'll sit down, we'll discuss it, and I will prove every time that the Holy Grail is the large intestine. And if you were to mind your own business and didn't close for business, you would be healthy. You would be vital. you'd be happy. You'd have so much energy. And that's the deal. So understand something. If you're not willing to flush the pounds, you'll never lighten the load on an emotional or physical level. And understand something, everybody. You need to get this, okay? The weight loss industry is built on a bunch of lies. It's not calories. It's not eating processed foods. It's got nothing to do with anything except taking life in, okay? And understand something. It's not a weight problem. It's a waist problem, okay? And guess what? Why do they call it a waistline? Okay, I'll tell you something. Your waistline should be lean, keen, okay? That's right. Is your waistline lean and keen? The bigger your waistline is, the more waste you are piling up inside of yourself, and the more emotional waste you are piling up inside yourself. And don't tell me that people that are unhealthy have balanced emotions and have a balanced life. It's not true. I am not picking on anyone. Everybody is beautiful, and you need to get this. And I'm not just saying this. Everybody is beautiful, but everybody doesn't have beautiful programs that they run. And if you don't run beautiful programs for yourself, you're not going to have beautiful health. I'm not even talking about beautiful body. I'm talking about beautiful health. I don't want you to live in hell. Listen, if you could weigh 100 pounds overweight, what the average weight is, and you could have total health, who cares? If you love it, great. But the reality is that science and statistics show that with every pound overweight we are, the more chances we have of heart attacks, blood pressure problems, mental problems, okay, cancer, diabetes. The list goes on and on and on. But we all just take it normal. And you know what? You're not going to believe this, and you don't want to believe this, but you think you love yourself. You think that you're okay, but you don't know this because your subconscious rules, schools, and fools you because we've been rule schooled and fooled. And the reality is if you hang around with everybody that's overweight, then overweight becomes normal. If you have what we call an unloving relationship within your family, it's still the only love you know. So the reality is, what is a good poop? What is a good diet? What is love? What is really love? Well, love is something you should be doing for yourself. Health is something you should be doing for yourself. You should be loving yourself well. You should be dealing with self-care, not health-care. You should be you're only dealing with me to learn how to become your own practitioner, to train yourself how to create that perfect day. And let me tell you something. Don't tell me that you're happy, okay, when you have diabetes, when you have high blood pressure, when you have low back problems, when you have a tumor, when you have fibroids, when you're so stiff you can't move, when you only can sit and you can't play. I just have to get used to this. Isn't it kind of funny? We'll get used to anything, won't we? Because we can be programmed. This is the end of part 3, the law of repetition. So now you know that practice makes perfect. We will see you in part 4, the scoop on poop. Welcome to part 4, everyone. The scoop on poop. What goes in matters, but what comes out matters even more. Enjoy the show. I gotta go. I just have to get used to this. Isn't it kind of funny? We'll get used to anything, won't we? Because we can be programmed. So, this is the adult poop chart, guys. Okay? We had to get here sometime. I mean, this is the scoop on poop, isn't it? Okay, so the adult poop chart. So I'm not going to go through all of these because you can find all of these in my Perfect Day Guide in the library, and you can also find these in the Daily Cleansing Tea Guide, okay? And there's other guides that it's in because it's a big deal, okay? So ask yourself these questions, and then if you think you want to take it further, because my deal is I'm willing to train you, but if you're not willing to take massive personal action, then I'm spoon-feeding you like everybody else, and guess what spoon-feeding does? Okay, we're not babies, okay? We're not babies. We need to take massive personal action if we want to get rid of the adulteration that we got, okay? And adulteration means that you're waiting for Superman or someone to come and save you. That's not going to happen. So here's the adult daily poop chart. Does it float? Does it sink? Does it have big bubbles in it? Does it have small bubbles in it? Is it bloody? Does it contain mucus? Does it slide out easily? Do you have to strain? How many bowel movements do you have? Okay, and what time of the day do you have your bowel movements? Understand something. Most people never even question themselves on this because you've been totally programmed to fill yourself up until you make your blue eyes brown, okay? So here's the other part of the adult daily poop chart. Are you constipated? Do you have diarrhea? Uneven formation of the stool. Is it hard? Is it soft? Is it firm? Is it cracked? Is it smooth? Is it loose? Is it jagged? Stool length, stool width. And that's it. If you don't want to track your poop, then you're not going to track your health. And understand something. I already told you this, but your poop is a computer printout. You need to get this. And if you do not want to teach your children about this, then shame on you. Shame on you. And understand something. As you change their diet over to the perfect day diet, as you change your diet over to the perfect day diet, it will stink because the old rot will have to come out. But in time, you will start to see changes. First, we stir it up. It stinks. It looks bad. It smells bad. And within a few days to a few weeks, you've got the perfect poop. And understand something. Write your symptoms down before you start this. Write all your symptoms down. Put them on the fridge because you're going to forget, because the mind forgets. So write your symptoms down, all the symptoms I have, and then start stroking them off as your poo starts getting better and better and you start making better choices for yourself. So understand something. Adulteration is the main cause of constipation. And don't ever forget that. So like I said, welcome to the computer printout, the most important, life-saving, life-giving printout of your life. Now, I'm going to want everyone to take their time, stop the video, and do your homework and do your research. And like I said, you can find all these slides in the Perfect Day Guide. And you can find all these slides, okay, in the Daily Cleansing Tea Guide. And you can find all these slides in Spoiled Rotten Guide. And you can find all these slides in the Domino Effect of Unhealthy Living Guide. So I'm going to let you do your homework there. All right? But I will take to this chart, and then the rest of the charts I'll just walk through with you lightly, okay? Or else we could be here forever. All right? So type 1, severe constipated. Separate hard lumps, okay? They're like rabbit turds, okay? That's how dehydrated this is. Type 2, mild constipation, lumpy and sausage-like, okay? And it usually will be even wider and shorter. Type 3, this is kind of normal. It's a sausage shape with cracks in the surface, and it can be anywhere from 5 to 7 inches long for an adult. Type 4 is also normal, like a smooth, soft sausage or snake. That's more like me. Okay? There, now you know my type. Okay, type 5, lacking fiber, soft blobs with clear-cut edges. Type 6, mild diarrhea. Well, let me tell you, you do not have diarrhea unless you have infection in there, and you do not have infection in there unless you've been constipated. Diarrhea is caused from constipation, so get it. Understand that. Diarrhea is caused by constipation, and your bowel needs to blow the waste out or you're going to get in big trouble. Okay, so type 6, mild diarrhea, mushy consistency with ragged edges. Type 7, severe diarrhea, liquid consistency with no solid pieces. Type 8, mucus-like spray, like mucus with bubbles and a foul odor. And the mucus, why mucus, guys? Why is it getting worse? Well, because of the infection creates irritation, which goes to inflammation, and your body makes all this mucus to try to protect the lining because you're burning out that one cell thick, and when you do, your bowel becomes a screen door like a submarine. So now The mucus is trying to protect you because you're burning the cells off so fast from the inflammation. Because just like I told you before, like a barbecue, you throw a piece of meat on, you turn the burner on, okay, you burn it. So what you're doing is you're burning the inside lining of your large intestine. All right, so let's walk through this. Okay, so now this goes into it in greater detail. Please take a look at it. All right, this is talking about the different types. This is a poop chart. It's a color chart, okay? Super green, you ate green, or it's passing too fast, or there could be bile problems with your liver. Okay, a little green, you're okay. Shades of brown, you're good. Yellow, too much fat. Malabsorption, celiac disease, okay? All right. Red, you ate red things or you got hemorrhoids. And if it's bright blood, we know it's hemorrhoids, so don't freak out. The darker the blood is, the higher up the bleeding in the intestine. Now, did you get that? The darker the blood is, the higher up it is. When it's bright red, we know it could be hemorrhoids, or you could have maybe just cut when you went to wipe. Okay? Pale white, clay colored, your bile duct may be blocked completely. Okay? So think about that fatty diet and all those bad oils, rancid oils, wrong oils you're taking in. Okay? Greasy, fried foods. Or we also know that when your bile duct gets blocked, it also could be what? What could it be? Well, believe it or not, it could be anger. Because anger is the emotion for the gallbladder. Okay? Now, black, you ate licorice, yeah, iron supplement, or it could be medication or bleeding in the upper intestinal tract. Or if you're taking black gold, guys, or if you're doing fulvic and humic, that can do it too. So let's not jump to conclusions. And before anybody freaks out, I want you to always call my office. And I want you to always call my office. If you feel you're going into anxiety, call me. And then call my office, and you can call me. And then when I give you the answer, please understand, I will not lie to you. I'm just going to give you the answer and try to help you with it, okay? And remember, red can also be if you just had beets, okay? Like I drank a whole bunch of beet juice and it came out red. I didn't freak out. Or if you eat watermelon, it's going to come out red. So think about the vegetables and the food that you also eat, okay? Because the food that you eat will also have the color. And if you don't chew your food well, then it'll have more color in the stool, all right? So take a look at what your brown poop tells you. Take a look at what your green poop tells you. Take a look what your yellow poop tells you. Take a look at what your black poop tells you. Take a look at what your red poop tells you. Okay? Understand, all right? It is a computer printout. Let me tell you something. Do you know why they have made you believe that your poop doesn't matter? That bowel movements don't matter. Look, you can go to a medical doctor even today, and if you said you went to the bathroom every 3 days, well, that's how your constitution works. Are you like crazy? Okay? Understand something. The medical system is not into health. And I'm not putting them down. They're into emergency care, the best in the world, and they're into drugs, radiation, chemo, and surgery. And did I put them down? No. And if you think I did, I didn't. What am I into? Well, I think you're getting it. I'm into poop. I'm into lots of poop, okay? Because I believe that it is a computer printout, okay? So understand something. If you're not willing to flush the pounds for yourself and your family, then understand you're going to have sick children. And, you know, corporations don't care if your children are sick because they do care that your children are sick. Because corporations make money off of sick children. Because the same food corporations that are making your food are the same corporations that own pharmaceutical companies. And the same companies that own pharmaceutical companies, the same people that own pharmaceutical companies, own petroleum companies. Are you getting? They're the same family. So if you're not willing to flush the pounds and lighten the load, then you're never going to know what true health is. And you know what? Stop being lazy. Take massive personal action and give your children their God-given life back. Think about it. Please think about it. All right? Now, did you know what? Did you see last night? Okay, where was I? It was someplace. No, it was on a YouTube thing. Oreos cereal. Oreo cereal. And I guarantee you it's going to fly off the shelf because guess what? They know how to play on our addictions. And because we don't master our minds, okay, we become landmines. And understand something, it's not a weight problem. What is it? I think you already know. It's a waste problem, okay? So understand something. Poop is important. Do you want to know about your baby poop? Okay, you should know about it. You should pay attention to it because if you pay attention to your baby poop, you're paying attention to your baby, you're paying attention to your baby's immune system. All right, so here we go. Take a look at these slides. I'm not going to run through them again because you can stop this video. You can go into the guides, which I've already told you about. And the Perfect Day Guide is the one that you might want to go to check out the Perfect Day Diet. And you might want to check out the 4 loving steps. Okay, self-loving steps, and you might want to check out what your baby's poop is like. So here they are. These are all the slides. All right? And then, what's normal for breastfed babies from day 1 and beyond? Please take a look at it. And here's the charts again. We're going back through the colors again, everyone. And because, listen, these guys are usually part of the family, man's best friend. We've put their computer chart on as well. Okay, so take a look through these slides, give them a look, and you're going to know what condition your dog is in. And whether you believe this or not, whether you're talking about your own body, your children's body, your pet's body, your poo is always going to tell you on a daily basis where you're at with your health, with your immune system. And it's all about that. And look, I'm going to tell you something right now. There has never been more constipation on any species than dogs. Dogs are fed the worst foods. Dogs have more cancer than any other species on planet Earth. And that is a bloody shame. All right? Okay. So now we're at the Perfect Day colon treatment. Here it is. So these are just things I want you to think about, okay? Take a look at them and then make your own decision. Understand something. I want you to get this. You can call my office, never buy a product. You can call my office, never do a therapy or a training or one of our certifications, and we will always answer your questions. Understand something. The library, the Doc of Detox library, is the most informative health library in the world for taking personal action to become your own practitioner, to take your own health back so that you can take your own health, wealth, and get your real, authentic self, beautiful self, so that you can create the perfect day, so that you can teach yourself how to stay in the present moment, how to connect to your breath, and own everything. Own your choices. Own your voice. So, the Perfect Day colon treatment, let's get back to it. First, we need to learn how to master our stress. Please go check out the Braveheart Way. Check out the Braveheart 12 Loving Steps. And also check out some of the videos that I have put in there for you, slideshow videos on emotion. Okay? We need to drink structured water, guys. You know, there's many types of water out there, but do some research on structured water. And then take a look at the Perfect Day diet. All right? And then take a look at our daily cleansing tea because it has no stimulants. It has no laxatives in it. And you can take it every morning and every night. And you can what? Reclaim that which creates 85% of your immune system, which is your large intestine. And don't you want to be a lean, keen, slim machine? Don't you want to be clear of thought? Look at the Royal Society of Medicine said what? That the major part of all illness comes from the large intestine. And then take a look at black gold and tummy love, because black gold is something, it's a powder, and you can mix it with your coffee. You can put it in your coffee enemas. You can put it in your blender drinks. You can put it in your soups, but it takes care of that whole digestive tract, helping to bring back the health of the terrain. And then tummy love, it restores mummy's bacteria better than anything I've ever found. I'm not saying don't take good bacteria products, but I've never seen anything work like this, especially when you do the 3 of them, daily cleansing tea, black gold, tummy love. Okay, and also take a look at Wolf Non-Surgical, because understand something. If you're having trouble pooping, if you're having trouble walking, if you're having trouble hearing, if you're having trouble sleeping, if you're having trouble with your shoulder, your hip, okay, or any other part of your body, it's a scar tissue issue. I'm telling you that. And like I said, I do this not because we need your business, but we need to prove to you that we've been sucker punched. That all of those therapies out there that you've done, all those treatments that you've done, yeah, I know they didn't work well. And I'll tell you something right now. That's why I'm going to give you a money back guarantee, because you're fed up already. You don't want to spend your money unless you get the results. I'm going to give you a money back guarantee that the first treatment we do on you with Wolf Non-Surgical, we're going to get more results than anything else you've ever done combined. And also take a look at belly button therapy. Take a look at pelvic activation squats. You'll find all that in my do-it-yourself guide in my library. And take a look at pelvic enhancer. Look at the Lionheart breathing. And then go take a look at clapping for health guide in my library. And start watching the videos. Watch the masterclass. The whole thing is a masterclass. I show you how to clap your whole body, how to clap it well. Because understand something, only sick people are sick. And only sick people bruise. Healthy people don't bruise. And real sick people bruise without touching them. And then also take a look at the Ultimate Coffee Enema. This is a good place to start. Understand something, everybody. Most of the population has bowel lock. What does that mean? Well, just because there's traffic coming into the city doesn't mean it's not backed up all the way for 100 miles. And get that. But you know what? You're so used to feeling like you feel that you call it normal. I call it abnormal. Okay? All right? We already know that I'm not a normal person. Because a normal person is the majority. I don't speak like a normal person. I don't act like a normal person. And I'm 64 years old, and it's not about me bragging. But the reality is this. I'm 64, and I've not always been a health-conscious person. I used to go out and drink a lot. Okay? I used to smoke cigarettes. Okay? I used to smoke marijuana a fair bit, a lot, I guess. I used to eat incorrectly. I used to think incorrectly, drink incorrectly. And understand something. Your body loves you so much that no matter what your illness is, understand something. You can unlock it. First start with your bowel. Work from the bottom up. Okay, you really need to do that. You need to have some faith in God, the God that created you. And you need to have faith because your body will heal itself. And over the last 120 years, the medical system has actually, not the medical system, but the AMA, okay, the FDA has taught us that the body can no longer heal. It's forgotten how to heal itself. And if you don't believe me, go read Medical Mafia in my library and find out how 120 years ago this was a huge plot, okay? All right? Oh, there's another conspiracy, Daryl. Whatever. Go check it out. Facts are facts. So understand something. The highway of life is your digestive tract, okay? The highway of life is your digestive tract. The front door is your mouth. The back door, okay, is your anus, your rectum. All right? And there is 30 feet in between the two of them. Okay? The first part, we've got digestion. The next part, we've got assimilation in the small intestine. And then we've got elimination and immune function in the last 5 to 7 feet. And you better honor and respect that. That is so, so important. Okay? You need to understand something, that the highway of life is your digestive tract, okay? It is so important. Now, everybody, if you want to learn how to take all your power back, please check out my Healthy to 100 book. And understand something. Here's my gift to you. I give you the book. You take personal action, read through it, understand, because it is the ultimate guide to bulletproof your life. And guess what? All you're going to do is pay for the shipping. All right? Just know this. It's teamwork that makes the dream work. And understand something. Make potty training fun. Make potty training 101 fun. Make it fun for your children. And make your children understand that checking their poop out and having a great poop is more important than eating. Because understand something. If they get that and they use their poop as a computer printout on how well they're doing, then guess what you can do? See, honey? Oh, mommy, I got cramps. You can explain it to them. Honey, you're going to have cramps whenever you eat GMO foods, whenever you eat processed foods, whenever you eat too much flour products, sugar products, too much dairy, whenever we eat too many dead animals. Okay? Honey, you're going to have cramps. Okay? When you take in the fruits and the veggies, the legumes, some beans, the grains, when you take in live foods, when you drink enough structured water so that we can get enough water in the river to run the logs down the river to get them to the mill, which is the toilet. You know, play games, tell stories. Oh, honey, look at your poop sunk. Okay, that means it's been in you too long. Look at, honey, you got bubbles all over your poop. That means you've got so much gas in your tummy. Oh, I do, mommy, I had gas all night. Okay, look at, honey, you got diarrhea. That shows that we haven't been feeding you right. And now you've got so much infection that your body's in crisis, saying, get this the hell out of there. I don't know how else to say it, because it feels like hell, because that little child's tummy is on fire. It's on fire. It's called inflammation, and it's called infection. And you can't have that without constipation and without eating, drinking poisonous things. Adults are adulterated. Adults are beautiful. They love their children. They love them 100%. But problem is 70 to 90% of what they know is incorrect. And if it was correct, then children would be having a blissful, healthy life. You wouldn't be running them to the doctor because of fever, because of cramping, because of diarrhea, okay, and all the other conditions from A to Z. So check out my Healthy to 100, okay, and you can see I've listed all of the page numbers of where you need to go to get a handle and get the scoop on poop. Okay, so take a look. It's not all about poop. It's about you. But if you check these chapters out in my book, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to be, okay. You won't have more health information, but you'll have more correct information, and you'll be more intelligent than the practitioner or the doctor that you go to, because logic is the key. So you need to understand something, okay? And I mean this in the best way, but the game is rigged, okay? So you were actually set up, okay? And you weren't set up in a good way. You weren't set up in a way that success was going to come easy. But I promise you that if you take massive action, success is going to come easy. I mean that. So like anything in life, you know, to give birth to something new that's amazing, we know it takes 9 months. So if you could just pour your heart into it with purpose and passion and work on it every day and never lose focus of what you want. And if you did that every day, you would find out that you would birth the real you, the authentic you, within 9 months. Look, take a look at this slide. If you have the time, if you believe that you're worth the time and the energy, you can watch the video or you can read. But the reality is go to my library, docofdetox.com/library, and go take a look at the domino effect of unhealthy living. Go read it, watch it, and then go read Spoiled Rotten or watch it, because it's there for you. And this is all about the American couple. And this is all about the average normal American couple, that normal is now abnormal. And I want to show you that. And I want to show you how you can get out of it. You know, until you really take a look in the mirror and really look at things and you become conscious of the way that you live, okay, we can never really truly start living. Understand something. From the very beginning, the whole thing has been rigged. Do you remember when grandma, grandpa, mom, dad had an enema bag under the bed, had an enema bag in the bathroom? And understand something. Look at, even a bird knows to blow water up its bum when it's constipated. This is the God's truth. A bird will actually take its beak and push water up its butt when it's constipated. I'm not asking you to take your beak and do that, but I'm telling you one thing, that we have come a long way. I mean, you don't have to take laxatives. You don't have to take stimulants. Why do you think I put the daily cleansing tea together 30 years ago, over 30 years ago? You could take the daily cleansing tea every day, morning and night, and it will never break you down. It will put you together. Because if you gently help to assist these detoxification organs, understand something, even our great-grandparents would do enemas. If you want to go back to the cave days, they used to use what? Wreaths, gourds, even a ram horn. Okay, I don't want a ram horn put up my butt, but the reality is they did. And they would do that to relieve themselves of constipation. You've got to get that. They knew that the root source of disease was from a dysfunctional large intestine. Okay, so let's really get a handle on this. Now, did you know that enemas were included in the Merck Medical Manual until 1972? Now, did you know that enemas were in the Merck Manual? This is the medical training manual for doctors. They'll never admit that, but it was. And understand something, doctors used to do coffee enemas as well and used to talk about them. Let them talk about them today and find out what trouble they're going to get into, okay? Because remember something, my parents were the X-Lax generation. My mother and father stopped doing enemas as soon as X-Lax came out. And I can even remember as a child, the enema stopped because, wow, it was so cool. We could have a piece of chocolate and have sweetness on this side and then sweetness down below. But what we didn't realize is that X-Lax is a toxin. And when it goes in, your bowel goes, get this the heck out of here. And we're trying to get rid of the X-Lax because it overstimulates, it whips your bowel. Of course, the loose waste is going to come out, but not the sticky, glicky stuff that holds the bacteria, the viruses, that holds the fungus, that allows the worms to clutch their teeth into. That's not cleansing. That's just called overstimulation of your large intestine, which eventually breaks your bowel down. Ask anybody that takes laxatives long enough and strong enough, and their bowel's just laying in their abdomen, asleep, in coma. How cool is that? When you have a bowel that's in coma, then you've got a life that is not great. So please, you don't have to get your products from me. But the reality is a doctor's going to tell you, what are you talking about? You don't need cleansing products. Your whole body is a cleansing system. Your skin is a detoxification organ. Your lungs are a detoxification organ. Your liver is a detoxification organ. Your lymph system, your large intestine, your kidneys, they're absolutely right. But the reality is, how natural is life today? Between the blue light poisoning, between the 4G, which is soon 5G, all the GMOs, all the dyes, all the chemicals, all the additives, the glyphosate that's in our foods, all the processed food that we eat, okay, all the addictions that we have. Listen to me. You'll change the filter in your car, and you'll do that. What? You'll do that maybe even once, twice a year, huh? You'll change the oil every, 5,000 miles? I don't know, around that for certain cars. But when's the last time you changed the filter in your liver? When's the last time you really felt like your colon was clean and healthy? Understand something. You can take the daily cleansing tea, or you could take the daily cleansing caps every day and not have to pay, because they have no laxatives, no stimulants. All they do is gently support all your detox organs. Isn't that what you want? Okay, until the world goes back to what we would call natural, which I don't think it's going to, because we've given it away to the psycho elite, and you actually believe that medical care is health care, and you actually believe that love is borrowed, that you borrow it from your family and your friends in the world. No, it's self-care, it's self-love. And until you do that and you create the perfect day, then you'll never have perfect health. And that's how that is. So understand something. You want to lighten the load and fly. Well, what does fly mean? First, love yourself. First, love yourself. And love yourself well. Look at when I fly, and actually when I do fly and take airplanes, I actually take the daily cleansing tea caps with me. I'll take my tea if I can make my tea, because you got to boil the water and do those things. So when I get to wherever I go, I always make it. I make sure I can do it. But when I fly, if I'm traveling for a day or two, because I go all over the world, I make sure I take my daily cleansing caps. And I'll tell you why. You don't have to take my product, but take some product, because here's the deal. It is no fun going on holiday with a cork up your butt. Tell me it is. Okay? Constipation is can make you feel crappy, and you don't want that. All right? So, here it is. Doc of Detox Ultimate Coffee Enema. Please go and check out the Daily Cleansing Tea. Check out the Daily Cleansing Tea Caps. And you can go into the Perfect Day Guide. You can also go there and check out the Ultimate Coffee Enema. Now, why do we call it the Ultimate Coffee Enema? Well, because you can just do a coffee enema, okay? Or you can use black gold when you go to brew the coffee. And then you can put Tummy Love in the enema bag, and you can increase your detoxification by 5 to 10 times, depending on how jammed up your liver is. So we want to be very effective at everything we do. And understand something. We have the best coffee for doing coffee enemas. And we did search the world over for this. So check out our Doc of Detox organic coffee for enemas, for coffee enemas, along with the black gold Tummy Love, and get yourself a Doc of Detox enema bucket. Make it stainless steel, not plastic. Okay? Let me tell you, your liver does over 500 jobs, okay? Don't make it do more than it's already doing. Give it a break. Take the load off. You know, when you clean your colon and then your liver's able to dump, go in there and really encourage the liver to get rid of all the chemicals, okay, all the pesticides, herbicides, drugs, all the color dyes, okay, all the heavy metals that it's built up. If you want your energy back, if you want your eyesight back, if you want to think properly, if you want your blood to be strong, okay, think about your liver. That's all I want to say. All right. So let me read this to you, okay? All right. This is in Wikipedia. And understand, Wikipedia is not meant for you to go and search information anymore, because it is actually owned by things like the CIA, the FDA, the AMA. You got it. Okay, so a coffee enema is the injection of coffee into the rectum and colon via the anus. As an enema, there is no medical scientific evidence to support any positive health claim for this practice. And medical authorities advise that the procedure may be dangerous. Coffee enemas carry a risk of adverse effects, some of them serious, including infection, seizures, heart and lung problems, and death. Wow. Watch out for that coffee enema. How dangerous is that? So understand something. I have seen tens of thousands of people do coffee enemas and understand something. They've been life-saving. I have never seen someone actually get infected by getting rid of infection. I have never heard of anybody getting a seizure or a heart problem, because if you want heart problems, don't clean your liver. And lung problems, understand something. You'll never have a lung problem because until you've already filled up from the bottom up, because that's what happens. Your colon's clogged, your liver's clogged, way before your lungs are even thinking of infection. And understand something. You don't get infection in your lungs unless you breathe something in, unless you're already infected in your large intestine and your bowel. And as far as death goes, okay, all right, I don't know. How's the information out there working for you so far? And the reality is this. Anything that's going to give your power back and isn't going to cost much, okay, isn't going to be approved by almost anybody. I mean, even the natural health business, they're in it to make profit and money. And then you can say, yeah, well, so are you, Dr. Wolf. Well, understand something. I will never put money before integrity, okay? I'm not telling you that I never did that in my life before, but I'm not going to do it anymore, all right? I finally realized that we are brothers and sisters. We are the Earth family. And you can believe it or not believe it, but my contract is not with you. My contract is with my Creator. And that's that. I may make mistakes, but I will not put profit before people ever again. I will never do it. It's not going to happen. And you know what? How good will that make me feel? I would like to rise above. I would like to rise like the leaders that have been here before me that have shined their light on the world. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great if we all did that? Because understand something, I get it. When you believe that you lack in your life, then you will try to take shortcuts. You will even you will even lie, cry, and justify. But when you realize that nobody can take your power, you need to take your power back, and that you have unlimited potential, that won't happen again. But I get it. I understand why you feel you have lack. Take a look at this slide. Medical Mafia Guide. Go read it and find out why you believe that the body doesn't heal, why you believe that your creator made a dysfunctional product, and why in the heck would you ever believe that a chemical drug would actually get rid of poisons and toxins is beyond me. So you're going to use a toxic poison to try to get rid of poison and heal your body's tissues. So understand, the issues in your tissues were issues in your mind because you have a landmine because your belief systems were hijacked. So read the Medical Mafia Guide on my library and tell me what you think. This is the end of part 4. Scoop on poop, but only the beginning of a great relationship with your bowel. We will see you in part 5, adulteration to constipation.